This is the continuation of part 2 quiz application. In the last video we have built first one, we have login forms. There the employee can log in. If it successfully log in, then they can redirect to that admin page. Here the admin page, here they can add that questions. And add that option. And the admin can select that answer also and click on save. So data will add successfully. Now in this video that they will play quiz application here. That user will come and play that quiz. Okay, let's start. Let's close all the document. Use controller. Go to the view. Yeah, this one. First of all, they will select that category. So how will they select? Create one class that will be category quiz model, or we can write quiz category v model. Inside that we need to write like the first one will be the category ID. Second one I'm going to write I enumerable of select list item. This one with the list of category. Open that use controller. Here create the constructor and right here create the entities. Use db entities, and the variable, create the object of object db entities, new db entities, and now create that object of a quiz category view model, because here you need to assign obj view category view model equal to new. Need to assign value that is a list of category. Okay, so here make a form obj in dot your categories, then select new selected item. Here we can write like a to list. Assign that one your value will be your obj dot category id dot toString, and another one is that text is obj dot category. Okay, that is done. Here they will enter, user can enter the name, or you can say that username or player name. Or something like candidate name. Now call the reference user.system.component model.data annotation, and here need to write like display then name equal to category. Okay, the another one is will be the error message or required error message, category is required. And same things need to add for candidate. It should be candidate name, candidate, or candidate is required. Okay, that is done. Now this one call to the here index model, add the reference, use using statement, HTML.begin form, then action name, controller name is that quiz, and then form method, that will be the post. That will be the post. Okay. Now here we can write like HTML.validate summary. It will be the true, and next one will be the null, and HTML attribute will be extension. Now next div, this one will be the class container, then form group, and then HTML.label for, it will be the model.candidate, the same one for HTML.textbox for model.candidate, then class will be your form control. Now copy same one for candidate, this one for candidate, and this one is going for your category. So select the category, but one thing is here, it should be drop down list for, and here this will become model, your model dot list of category. Okay, now I'm going to add button, input time is equal to button, then value, name is equal to submit, value is equal to also submit, and class will be button slash primary. This one I'll submit. Okay. Now go to the quiz controller. Here one action method, that's the action result, it will be the index, and same, because only two things is required, so we can use the name also, that is a candidate name and candidate ID. So what we can do, just we are going to use that string candidate name and int category ID. That's all. This one will be the HTTP post, and here it will be written view. That. Now run the application, make a breakpoint here, run the application. Now here I'm going to write like a candidate name and click on submit. Now here you can check that it's coming that candidate name and category ID. Okay. Once it will be done, just open that SQL server, check the table. Is there any table for user? This one is for user. Okay, so here it's a username and login time. So just I need to add here. We are going to create that user. That is a user. It's to new user, and that create the object of user dot username equal to your candidate name, and object user dot your login time, here date time dot now. One more field need to be add here, that is category ID. Just add the category ID also integer. This one also add. Now need to update that your entity model. Let open that your entity model. Just update. Now add object user dot category ID equal to your category ID. Dot user dot add, that is obj user, and this one dot save changes. But once it will be done, then it should be redirect to that another page. There that question will become. So I'm going to create one view. Here then add that view, that is your question index. Just I'm going to add like the question index. Click on add. Okay, that is done. So here that it will be redirect to the your question index, that particular view. Once it will be saved, it will be redirect to the question index. Okay, now question index. Go to the question index here. Add some design. Now here I have added some design. Okay, so now when that queues view model, here that queues controller, here I am adding that one, and it will redirect to that queues index, this one. So in that queues index I have added that some CSS, and that field set, it will become here that in the legend it will become that question name, and inside that field set it will become your options. First of all, need to create one class there, that particular view model. So here it will be the question answer view model. Or first I'm going to make a prefix queues, so it will be good. Click on add in this one, and one more class that is for option, that is it will become that class queues option. Okay, so here this one, first one will be the your integer question ID, and then your question name, then your list of your option, queues option. Queues option. Okay, here that it will become that teacher option ID, and one more is that string option name. This two will come here. Okay, now actually I have created that one, that particular question index. So for that I'm adding that one partial view. So add that view, that will be the partial view. So please question option, click on add. Click on add, and here it will be the model. Inside of the model, this one I'm going to call, let's add the reference. Now your CSS same, I need to copy this all in here, just cut it and paste it here. Okay, done. Now first of all need to add the question. So what will the question will become here, that is your model dot your question name, and some things need to be hide, that is your HTML dot hidden for, that is your model dot question ID. Question ID is also required, that is it. Now another thing I have to add, that is your for each. So better we can create one table. In the table we can add, just delete this, add the table. Table, that is style, and class will be the table contents. That is done. Now next one is that your tr, then your td. So let's make that for loop from here. Inside that for loop will come that for each, where that item in your model dot your list of use question. Say that, paste it here. This one will become that item dot your option name. Okay, this one is the item your option name. And one more thing we can do, we can add that your ID. So now it's done. Here we can display that option name. So in that option name, they will get that all those options. Then user can select that one, that particular option, and click on next. So I'm going to create that here one more button, that is a TD. Inside of the TD, I'm going to write one button, input time. That will be the button. So name the button will be the next. So it will move to the next question, and value also it will be the next, and the class will be green. That is a button success. That one will be the done. So this partial view I'm going to call that use question option. This partial view I'm going to call into question tags here, or not. So now let's start with that your script. So just drag that script in .cs. Then script, your type is equal to text JavaScript, then $document.ready function, so once every time, first times it will be load then first question should be displayed. So that document are ready. So load, going to create one function, that will be the function load question. So here I have added that one, that particular thing, that for async is true, that type is get, data type is HTML, because I am going to return that partial view from the controller. So content type is that application, then queues, and here I'm going to add one div. So ID of the div is that, so I'm going to add the ID, it will be the div question. Here I'm going to append that. So let's open that controller, that queues controller. Here I'm going to, this one will be written that parcel view, parcel is result that get, and here it will be the return your parcel view. Parcel view, the name of the parcel view is that queues question options, and here data will there. So for data I'm going to write, before that this one I'm going to add the session at the username or candidate name equal to that your candidate name, and second one is that session, it will be that your category ID. Category ID is equal to category ID. That two need to be done here. So let's see, that is the first question. So one more things need to be add, that is your session. One more session, that is for your candidate question answer. That is your candidate question answer. First one is a blank, or here we can check also, just remove, just delete this one. Here we can check if candidate equal to null. Okay, this one here we need to check. So what we can do, we can add one more view model, that is your candidate, your candidate answer. In that candidate answer, it will be that your first one question ID, second one is your result, your answer text that is given by the user, and third one we can make a bool is last. Okay, is last, or for this it will be that question ID and answer text, just for delete for now. So this candidate answer to here, it will be add here, so that if it's a null, so what we will do, we will trying to add that particular value. Once they are going to give the answer, that time we will check that. So here if it's a null, so that means, and now what we have done here, I'm doing that pagination, because that in that every once you are going to click on next, so it's one question should become. So what I have done, that is a page size. This one is your page size. Page size will be 1, because only one question can be displayed. Second one is that page number. So what is the page number? Page number means which paging you are doing, that one. It means first, second, third. with starting it will be 0, I am initializing with 0, but once that session, because once you're going to click that next, so that particular data should be saved into the session, this session. First I will check that one, if session equal to null, that time page number should be 1. So because it's initialized with the 0, so it will be increased to 1. If its data will be there, so I am going to check here, that is particular its count plus 1. Means what's the length, means like a first already added, so it will be it will check the first, then it will move to the second, so the page number should be second. Here I am getting that all the question, because here need to filter out the which category ID, because it can be multiple category ID. Once what you are going to select, that particular category question should be displayed, so that I am getting from this list of question. So after that, here I am doing that pagination, means like that question, particular question. Once I am getting the question, so after that I am adding to the one list, that this one I use for the view, this particular for partial view. So same things I am adding to the question ID, question name, and list of options. So here also I am doing that one, I am getting that the list of options, so means like multiple options will be there, so that particular question all the options will be displayed here. Next, open the partial view. Here I am adding that one your item dot option name, so this one should be displayed as a radio button. Here it will become that your radio button for, it will be the model dot. So here need to add a list of questions, that open that particular, this need to add that option ID also, that add, that is your option ID, so add that option ID also. So here model dot your option ID, then next your model dot and here it will become your item dot option name. Here I have changed to that option name only. Now there is one is the next button. So once you will run the application, you will see that this data should be displayed. Just delete this one. Now once you are going to click on queues and just check the candidate, click on submit. Yeah, now it's coming. So it's a 3, 4, 5. You can see that option is coming. Now if you click on next, so it should go to the your next question. Please just open this one. So what's the name of that button? That is a next button. I'm going to give the name, that is ID is equal to button your next. So just this one I'm going to use here. One more script tag, so it will be the dollar dot your click, that again that function, this one. So it will be the same like a function, load next question. Now here that you are checking that one, but that here that button is added, so I have added one on click button. Some same things I am added loading. So once we will go to that here, that load questions, same thing I am adding, but from here I am passing that one, that particular is taking that which one you have checked, so that particular answer text I am getting here, and that your one another one is your answer text, and another one is your question ID. So that things I am passing to that your use controller and user question answer. So if you will open this one, so here I am checking that one, that particular answer text, if does not equal to null, so that it's taking from that session. It's taking from session and it's adding here. Got it? Once it will be add here, so that session will be count will be the more. So the process now next process is the same. It's checking here, that count is checking that page number count is here. Now if we'll run the application, click on quiz. Here you can see that, so select the candidate 4, click on submit. So the see, it's the first question came here, the 3 4 5. Here I select the 5 and click on next. Then there is a problem that here I have added one more condition. If it's a null, because the first times once you will enter in the text and it's not added that your answer, so that times it will be null only, this one. So I'm checking that one, if it's particular object equal to null, so it's creating that object here and it's adding, and then after that it will be added to the session. Now click on quiz. Here I'm going to write the candidate 4, click on submit. Now here you can see that if it's first question is here, 2 plus 3 equal to, so I'm entering that 5. Now I'm going to click on next. So that next question came, 2 into 5 is equal to 10. So I'm going to click on next. Again they see now all the question is coming here. But what I need to do that one, if it's that question is last, so this should change to that last. Yeah, or you're going to be saved. Okay, it should be not like a next, because that question is done. So because if you look here that question, there is a 3 question only. If it's a question is 3, so this should be changed to that, your button should change to be save. This one should be changed to be save. Just close, open Visual Studio. Here only need to be add save. So what we can do, there is a one view model what we are using into that queues. Here I'm going to check, go to this one, I have to check that one is last, from bool is last, if it's the last question, so that times, so this one we have to change. So go to that controller, that is a queues controller. Here once you are going to assign that, I would assign creating that variable, that is a bool, is bool, and this one I'm going to make a false. First it will be false. So this bool is bool, it will be here, because this one I'm passing to the partial view, so it will be the is last. So going to end, sorry, is last. This one also is bool, it will be is last only. So this one changed to the is last. So how we'll check that one if it's a last question or not? So what we can do, we can check with that your session, that one session count, like this page number. Here you can check that one. Here I'm counting this one. If count that, if page number equal to your number of question, so how you will get that question, that is like this. So I'm checking here, if that page number equal to your list of question dot count, then your is last should be true. This is last to be true. Now if you go to the your queues one, here need to change. Here I will check that one, if your model dot is last, else so this one should be display here and here. So this one should be button, the change the button, save, and This one I am going to be save candidate answer. Okay, that one is done. Let's save as, but here that it will be a button, it will be the save. This one is success. This one I am going to change to the your primary, and this one is the success. Let's run. Now here I'm going to add that candidate 4. Now if you're going to click on submit, just click into submit, you get the questions. I'm going to giving the answer of what this one. Just close, run again. Now I click on use here that candidate 4, click on submit. That question came, so I'm giving the answer 2 plus 3, 5. Next, so it will be the 2 into 5. I'm going to give the 10. Now see, this is the last question. It's coming to the save. Previously it was a next. Now it's coming to the save. Once you click on save, so data should be saved. And now I'm going to call question index. This one is the load question, and for parcel view I have added that save candidate answer. So going to create one function that is a save. Okay, this one save candidate answer. So here we need to add, just copy this all. So here this one I'm going to change to the save candidate answer. Okay, this one is done. Save candidate, because it's already in the session, so no need to pass anything. Just delete that one, and here it will give the data, but this one JSON should be changed to JSON. And here one more thing need to add, that is a window href, the final result. It will be going to call one final result. First I am going to call that save candidate answer. So in the queues controller, here I am going to add that it will be the JSON result. It will be the save candidate answer. Okay, that will be the save candidate answer, and return JSON some data. For now it's okay. So how you will save the data? Your session, what is the session? What we have, this one, copy this one, so you will get that list of. So make a for each loop where item in your can answer. That is done. Okay, so if it's a that this one will be done, so what we can need to do, we have to call that entities. Where is that object entities? Your dot result. So going to create that result object, obj result, new result. So add that value, that your answer text will be the item dot answer text, and another one is that answer text dot question ID. What is the question ID? So item dot question ID, and your user ID. So what will be the object result dot your user ID. So what will be the user ID? You have we will get that one, user obj user equal to, so that one, let's leave it here where we are saving that one, this one. So I'm going to add one here, user ID will be the object user ID. This one will come here, so this is an ID to use here. So make a convert, because the session will be the object. Session is object, so need to convert that one, and then it will be the add will be the object result. This one is object result. Now save changes, that is done. So what we'll do, we'll create the new, here the data or message is equal to data successfully added, and one more thing is that success is equal to your true, and json dot logget, that is it. Now go to the call, I think this one is calling only save candidate. Okay, so data, just delete this one, if data dot success equal to true, so it should give that, this it should come here. So put it this one here, and one more thing will become alert, data dot message to string, data dot message, then it will be window as array. So this one, that is a final result. I am going to call one more, public action result equal to this. Okay, this one, and it will return the view, that is return the view. Here I am going to call that one joining, so it will return the value. So what you have done here, so first that my final result that I have created, that one action method, that is a final, this one final result, it will display that only the result. So here I am joining that what's actually your result, your that one list of question answer which are given by the candidate, so that I am assigning to that list of question answer, and here that I am joining with that your question, that your answer, final answer, that is already in the database, and this question. So here I am getting that one, this particular, or that question, that particular question. So here I am assigning that question and answer, and answer by user. So if it both will be, I am matching that one, if both will be, if will match, then it will be the correct, then otherwise it will be the wrong. So I have created one class, that is a result model. In the result model, you will see that I have added that question, answer by user, and the status. And last ones, that will open this question.index.html. Here actually I am passing, once you are going to click that save, so I am calling this particular method, so that last data should be also pass, because that last data records, once you are going to click that save, so that particular question answer should be passed. So it's passing from is here, that function data, that if its data is success, so it's redirecting to the your final result. Got it? And that if you go to that get final result, here I am adding that one table, and just matching that to that, adding the data with the for each loop. If it's the correct, then it's showing green. If it's not correct, it will be red. Now run the application. If you're going to click on queues, let's see, just enter that candidate 4, click on submit. Here you can see the question. If I mention that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, we click on next. So that 5 into 10, I am going to write that 34. Okay, click on next, and 10 into 6, I am going to 8. Let's see, the data successfully added. Let's see the result. See, you're getting the result. This one is correct because both are matching. This one is not correct, this one is not correct, so it's saying the wrong. That is your final output. So let's see what we have done today in this session. That first I have added only that one controller, that is your admin control, queues controller. That queues controllers, first of all we should display that your that all those questions. So I am not displaying that all those questions at once. I am displaying it one by one. Once you will answer that one question, so once you go, user will click the next, so it will go to the next questions. So if that it will be the last question, then your next button should be changed into the save button. Yeah. In the controller, so I have added here that particular index. This particular index, I am checking that one. All those, first of all, it should display that your category, which category you are going to start. Just like say if we are going, I have added that a dummy for math and science. So in the math have some questions which we have added in the previous session. So that question, so that's why first I am displaying that your category, that math and your science. So once you selected the math, just like your category, then you have to enter that your candidate names. So once you enter that candidate name, it should become that particular data should be saved, and it will be added to the session, this particular session. So that it will be moved to the next view, that is your question index view. This one is your question and index, that it will be moved to this particular view. Once you will open that question index view, this one, so first of all that load the question. So first question should be load. So first question, so that particular question should be load here. Here I am doing two things, because once we are going to click on next, so it's also work with the same function, and if we are first time it will be load, it will also work with the same, only one function I am using for both of that condition. Once you are going to click on next, and another one is that load times. So here, because I have created one that one partial view, so because otherwise it will be that too long, so that's why I have added one div here, that partial view is adding. So if you will look at partial view, this one is your partial view. Here I have added the design, and in the design parts I have added that one class is that use question answer view model. So here I am binding the data, and it's adding to the partial view here. So in the partial view, you're checking that one. If it's last question, it's changed to the save. If it's not last, so it should be next. Okay, now go to the question index. This one. Okay, so it's loading that one. It's passing to the, because the data type should be HTML, because it will return the HTML, because you are returning that partial view. So data type should be HTML only. Okay, that content type, that all things, and here I'm passing the data. Let's call that the user question and answer, that with use controller here, user question and answer. If you come here, I'm passing the data. First I'm checking that one, if you are, it's loaded, means like if data is if null, so that if data will be null, it will not enter here. It will check that page size. Page size means like how much record should become at one page. So it will be one only, because one time one question should be displayed. That's why it's a page size, it's a one. Page number starting, it will be in slice, I will and slice with the 0, but it will be always 1. For one question it should be 1. So I'm checking that one, if its session is equal to null, so that I'm incrementing that one 1 with 1. If it's null, because first time it will be that your session will be null only. So once it will be done, that page number, it's a 1. So it here I'm using that one link query, that first it will be skip that page number -1 into page size. Page size is 1. First it will be 1, it will be 0, then take 1, because page size is 1. So it will take 1. First it will be skip, then take. This is page ignition for link query. And after that it's checking that, because that object question, this is the question actually, and it's returning the list of questions. So where is the list of questions? List of questions is that only that category ID is the one. So this category ID I have added to the into the session, here the session. So I'm getting that value here, that is with the session ID. So because of that says category ID, I will get that all those questions, because if you will not use that this where condition, that all those questions, that all those category questions will become here. But I want only that your particular question with that category ID, right? Here I'm checking that one, if page number and your number of question will be that equal, so it will be the is last question. So because you have seen that in the partial view, we are checking that one, if it's last, it should be that button should be changed to next to save. Okay, that is done. That parcel view, that it will return that particular parcel view with that data, because this one is mean, if you will look, this is your actually data, because with this one I am passing to the your parcel view. Okay, so parcel view is simple, just I am only that binding the data. This one is the CSS, and simple things hidden that because this ID is required, because once you are going to click on next, so this ID should be passed, and that answer text which is given by that candidate. Okay, that particular field set is that here I'm checking that if it's last then button, then it's not last, then I click on next. That's simple. Next one is that once you are going to be click on the save candidate answer, because once going to be, it will be last, so it should be saved to the database. So I am saving to the here the database. You can see here that database I am saving that one, because here that you can see that I am still here I am also passing that one data. Why? Because that once you are going to click on save, that times that particular question answer and that answer, it should be saved also, because it will be redirected to this page. So that's why I am passing that one, that particular last data. This one is the last record data, so I am saving here. This one is the I am saving here. So next one this one is I am saving not in the database, it's saving into the first in the session. So that session data I am displaying here, and I am trying to save into that particular result table, that finally that use candidate which is going to give that one, that particular result table, it's saving that one. And same times, because if you will look that here, if it's success, that is data has been saved successfully, if you come to the here, if it's saved successfully, it should be redirect to the window.location.hr if that queues that final result. So it will become to that here final result. In the final result, if you will look this one, this particular, it will display the your result. So I'm joining that, I'm using that link join. Okay, this is not so tough. If only that join is that, and that answer ID, particular answer and question ID, because that all are reference with a question ID. I'm here. What actually this one is that candidate answer, and this one is the actual answer with that particular question ID. And this join is for getting that your question, because this question name I'm not saving into that your session, so that's why I'm joining with that question. Okay, then select that all those. We have created the one model, that is a result model. If you look here, I have created that result model with the status answer by user, the actual answer, and this one is the question. So this one, and then I'm just deleting that all those session, and this one returning the result. I hope it's clear. Thanks for watching.